Baby,
I
have a question.
Mm.
You know, if you were out and about and you were really hungry, like you were starving,
Okay.
and you walk past a strawberry field, would you pick them and eat them? Or would you wait until you get home because you've got a meal at home?
I mean, I'd eat both. If I'm hungry, I would eat the strawberries and then just come home and eat at home. Yeah, if there's a field of strawberries, a free field of strawberries, I'm gonna go I'm gonna be known as the strawberry maniac by the end of the day. Like, yeah, obviously I'd have a couple, maybe 2, 3, maybe 4, just something to curve me over, and then when I get home, bam,
But you're saying you would cheat on me.
What?
So you would cheat on me?
Isn't it so embarrassing to be in love with somebody online? Doesn't it suck? Isn't it crazy to just show everybody that you're actually in love, despite all the things that you've been told before, that being with somebody is amazing, it's the American dream, having a family? Well, nobody cares about true love anymore. That's the real issue. Nobody cares about this worthless little concept, because it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend. He won't peel the orange for me. He won't do the strawberry test correctly. He won't love me if I was a worm. This has been going on for quite some time, and I'd like to pick apart the entire thing because I found this article right here. Is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend? Is it embarrassing? Is it? Is it? I'm so curious. Is it embarrassing? Is it the social equivalent of posting a W-2 form and everybody look at you and saying, huh, you didn't make that much this year, did you? It sucks. We have glamorized hyper-individualism to such a psychotic degree. You can't use the word psychotic, that's ableism. Shut up. Anyways, that's the act. The act of being visibly, accountably in love is being treated as this branding catastrophe. The flex is no longer the quality of your connection. Oh, no, it's the impeccable, untouchable solitude of your personal brand. Now, the article in itself that I read, which is a very nice article that you sadly have to pay for some reason, is great. It's a very good article. I enjoyed it indefinitely. It goes on to explain that it's not about being cuffed. Cuffed is no longer a status. It's a downgrade more than anything. It's seen as a surrender, a wilting of the hot girl. I'm a hot girl. It's my hot girl summer. Ha 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 persona into something softer, weaker, and more dependent, because women are having this revolution where they are being more dependent, which is true. I agree. You should not be forced into this role of womanhood that you don't want to be in. But I do want to say that womanhood isn't just being a stay-at-home mom. Many things. You don't have to just be one thing. And people are gonna say, oh, he's a performative male, he's trying to be performative. She's not gonna sleep with you, bro. I'm married. Shut the hell up. Anyways, I just think that there's so many other things you could potentially do in this lifetime to be bogged down by a children that poops and costs $18,000 a year. It's insane. They see it as this betrayal of the girl boss commandment, though, to be a self-sufficient island, emotionally offshore and fiscally irresponsible with your heart. It's strange. And the underlying argument isn't that love itself is dead, but that being perceived to be in love is this disgusting, weird spectacle. It's a social death sentence carried out by 1,000 silent scrolls. Everybody saying, I wouldn't date him. He's ugly. You should get somebody more attractive. How did he get her? You just hear it all the time. It's embarrassing because people will judge you. They'll think, oh, you guys aren't a good match because you should get somebody that's more beautiful or more attractive. And then it makes the guy feel bad. It makes the girl feel self-conscious. They break up. She gets in a worse abusive relationship saying, oh, girlie, I would never get with him. You should have stuck with the previous guy. He seemed to actually love you. And it's just bad all around. Delving deeper into the article, into the crevices swimming around, the article unspools the specific paralyzing mechanics of the sphere. It's a terror born from the digital coliseum we've built, gladiator pits, one might say. To post your boyfriend is to voluntarily throw him, and by extension your entire discernment, to the lions of the comment section. Oh, go on, go crazy. Super fun, look at that. They're eating him apart. This is great. I love to see this. This is amazing. Look at that. Is that his ex? No, that's just somebody claiming to be his ex to cause an issue. This is great. It is an open invitation for a public inquest into your taste, your standards, your sexual market value, and your therapist's contact information. It's amazing. Is his haircut from this decade? Does his shirt have a graphic tee that suggests a problematic sense of humor? Oh no. Girlie, we can't do that. Does he, in the merciless parlance of our time, look like he knows how to use soap? This is no longer about sharing joy. It's about submitting your private life for a collective risk assessment. The pervasive, low-grade fear of the ick. Ooh, ow, That forbidden, visceral tide of repulsion triggered by a partner's minor human flaw has been weaponized by the crowd and has transformed relationships from private sources of joy into public liabilities. Which is hilarious to me. I love seeing it because it's crazy. It's nuts. The expectation now is to perform an effortless, unattached thriving. That's what you got to do. Commitment. With its messy, unphotogenic realities ruins the carefully maintained fantasy of boundless, algorithm-friendly possibility that is sold as the pinnacle of modern empowerment. He's not yearning 100% of the time. Well, he must suck garbage. Wait a second. He didn't buy you roses every Sunday because my boyfriend would. Does he? He would if I chose one. He would do that. That's exactly what he would do. It would be great. He doesn't own a 401k company. That's not even a real how do you own a 401k company? It doesn't make any sense. Well, he should own one. He should have 401k in the company. No, he should own a 401k company. The piece, brilliantly, the article identifies that women are now curating distance as a core survival tactic. Sharing a photo with your partner isn't an act of intimacy. It is an act of strategic vulnerability. Like handing your audience a loaded gun and praying they don't decide your happiness is worth a few cheap laughs. Bang, bang, boom, boom, clack, 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 clack. This time my gun sound. My gun sound like this. My gun sound like boop, boop. In the final part of the entire article, the analysis strikes the poison root. The true sickening core of the issue is not that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. It's not the entire point of this. It's not. Is that we have systematically engineered a social environment where sincerity itself is embarrassing. It's gross. Softness is a liability. Loving someone openly and without ironic detachment is a critical brand flaw in the performance of the self. This is a scathing critique of how dating has been reduced to content, how identity has become a 24/7 performance, and how women in particular are pressured to posture as emotional lone wolves. Why? Because the digital world punishes them swiftly and ruthlessly for publicly loving men who are not perfect, polished, and pre-vetted for aesthetic optimization. Your man doesn't look like an elf. Oh, your man goes to the gym. I bet he's a red pillar. Oh my goodness. Your man's tired after his 10-hour shift. He should be on his feet. He should be on his feet and then on his knees, praying and begging to his goddess that has come home. It's not realistic. Not even close to realistic. It's insane that this is the common thing that happens. The piece serves as a stark, necessary reminder we have allowed shame to become the primary currency of intimacy in this age. We have outsourced the validation of our most private joys to a jury of strangers, influencers, and a lot of bots. The only thing that should truly burn with embarrassment is the absurdity of letting a timeline of cursed highlights and cynical hot takes dictate whether the quiet, messy, real love in our lives is deemed cool enough to exist in the light. Now I'm going to talk about the test. I showed a bunch of tests in the beginning of the video. I'm going to give you a reminder of a few of the tests. Here's a few of them. So you've seen the test. Now after I describe one of the tests, I'm going to show my response. My partner has asked me these questions and I have given my response to these tests. So I hope you enjoy highlights from me being asked these questions. But the very architecture of these tests is viral by design. They are not crafted by relationship therapists. Not at all. They're not doing that at all. They are engineered by content creators who understand that the fantasy of perfect performative devotion is a more potent drug than the messy reality of an actual living partnership. They prey on the desire for a partner who is perpetually gentle, endlessly attentive, and eager to jump through ever more esoteric hoops of affection. Hoops that will be irrelevant in 48 hours when the next trend declares your partner is emotionally bankrupt because they failed the "which way would you tilt your head during an alien abduction to prove your loyalty" quiz. Which is probably going to be a thing now that I mentioned it. Instead of asking simple real world questions. Does this person show up for me when I'm sick, when I'm sad, when life is relentlessly photogenically hard? When does he do that? We are now diagnosing entire relationships based on a partner's theoretical response to a piece of fruit. This isn't building emotional intelligence. It's collecting these online brownie points. Oh boy, brownies! Brownies! Brownie points. That mean nothing. Mickey Mouse. I'm gonna get sued by Disney for that. Mickey! Oh, I'm goofy. You ever tried Donald Duck's voice? Try Donald Duck's voice right now. Try his voice. That's how Donald Duck sounds to me. It's nuts. Play a lot of Kingdom Hearts recently, been thinking about a lot of Disney. It's on my mind right now. But these brownie points are worthless, non-transferable, and exist only to inject a virus of insecurity into a dynamic that was probably just fine. Just fine. But just fine before you treated your love life like a game show hosted by a bunch of teenagers and women who don't have relationships, mind you. It's disgusting. So the one that has been most prevalent in my mind is the strawberry test. It's a disgusting brand of nonsense. It has people treating a hypothetical berry patch as if it's a Rorschach test for commitment. As if your partner's refusal to trespass and forage from a stranger's garden is a direct analog to their future willingness to defend your honor or hold your back when you're sick. It's goofy. Hold your hair back, by the way. Hold your hair back. I don't know why I said hold my back. I don't know. My brain is going crazy. This is make-believe psychology. That's all it is. This is make-believe psychology. And people are using it to diagnose long-term compatibility with this. I think there's some Freudian analysts. They're not. All while being qualified as relationship experts by nothing more than the fact that they have a large following and a catchy audio. And they're pretty. Well, I'm pretty, have makeup, have a large following, and women should listen to me. It's not true. These tests systematically transform the beautiful, complex mystery of holding human connection into a simple riddle with the right answer, and every response becomes a prophecy that will be dissected in a 30-second slideshow set to maybe a Phoebe Bridgers song, maybe something that, or Taylor Swift. It could be Taylor Swift. I feel like people don't know who Phoebe Bridgers is. Feels like a stark dark thing. Anyway, here goes my strawberry test.
Peter Pan doesn't make any sense. Why does Peter Pan have any peanut butter? Doesn't make any. He's Neverland. He never lands. He's never gonna land himself. Doesn't make any sense. I guess playing on Rocket Land too. Blackberry, we very black. What's up?
Lover, can I ask you a couple questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so imagine you're in a strawberry field.
Okay. Is that the question?
You're very hungry, but there's a fence going around the field. How high is the fence before you get into the strawberry field?
I have to make the dimensions of said fence for the hypothetical question?
Yep. In your imagination, if you imagine you're very hungry and there's strawberries everywhere.
Okay, 6 billion feet. 60 billion feet.
Okay.
This is a high defense military grade strawberry field.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you were to climb this fence,
Okay.
eventually,
Yeah, like 2 minutes, bro. I'm fast. Like my vertical's crazy.
how many strawberries do you eat?
2, maybe like half. I'm not a fan of strawberry. I don't like strawberries that much. Maybe like half a strawberry. 1. I might just take over the field. Why you got a 6 billion foot fence? We ain't talking about how high the fence is. That's a big fence. That's crazy. How many strawberries out there? Like, is it infinite strawberries? Mm-hmm. Infinite strawberries? Mm-hmm. Man, that's insane. I'm gonna start a strawberry feed. I'm gonna start a company. I'm gonna start a strawberry. I'm gonna take the farmer. I'm gonna marry the farmer, whoever the farmer is. I'm gonna figure it out. Hopefully he's cute. Hopefully he got a big belly so I can rub it like Buddha. That'd be fun. Be a good idea for there. That's fun.
So you're
What's up?
okay. What do you do when the farmer catches
Married.
you?
I already said
okay,
that.
Yeah.
We already got there.
How good did the strawberries taste?
I never ate any because that's my product. A man doesn't
He's a pimp.
doesn't ride
He's
on
a
his own
goddamn
supply.
thug.
Well, I know. I'm a thug. No, why would I not do that? 6 billion feet, military grade lasers. I can summon the moon. Orbital strikes on the strawberry field. I'm using every smidgen of my power on this strawberry field. I now have a business. I'm married to a man with a big belly like Buddha. I'm rubbing that belly. That's what's happening. What is the point of this question? I'm sorry. I gotta figure this out. What's the point of this question? I'm still on Peter Pan peanut butter. What's happening?
The fence represents the boundary that we have of our relationship between you and going with other people.
Who are the other people?
So those are 6 million feet is a lot.
That's
Good luck, I guess. But You didn't eat any strawberries.
Why would I eat the
The
strawberry?
strawberries would be the people that you would be with.
What is
You
this?
instead decided to take over the farm and
As I
sell
should.
the strawberries.
So I'm a pimp.
Yeah, you're
Yo,
you're
that's
pimping out-
crazy. Yeah, that's cool. What? We can. Oh my god, we're so cool. That's amazing. I'm a pimp. I didn't realize I was. That's cool. I don't think I'd be very good.
I feel as though the apex of the performative insanity was the "if I was a worm." This interrogation. This is the most revealing because it lays bare the core of the issue. It's not about genuine reassurance. It's about spectacle. It's a demand for a dramatic, theatrical declaration of devotion so hyperbolic it would be rejected from any TV show for being too much. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. The goal isn't to hear a truthful answer. The goal is to capture a response so perfectly over the top that it can be posted online to elicit a chorus of, "He's a keeper." Goals. This is a green flag walking. It's from people whose own relationships you know nothing about. The internet has successfully rewired our brains to believe that affection is not truly real. It's not real. Unless it can be screenshotted, framed with a cute border, and fed into the insatiable maw of the romantic industrial complex. The like count has become a more trusted metric of a relationship health than your own sense of peace and security. And that sucks, doesn't it? That sucks. Anyways, here goes my worm test for ya.
Lover,
What's up?
if I was a worm,
Okay. If you were a worm. If you were a worm, would I use you for fishing bait? What is the... Why are you shocked? I'm confused. What would happen after that? What...
I'm a worm.
Okay. What are you trying to gain from this? You're a worm. Are you saying you identify as a worm now? Is that what I'm to gather from this?
If I was a worm,
If you were a worm, what if scenario? Hypothetical. Okay, I'm following along. If you were a worm, we probably wouldn't live together because you wouldn't be able to pay rent. You wouldn't be able to pay rent. I would have to get all the bulk by myself, and you don't like the idea of being a housewife. You despise that idea. It's like your least favorite thing. In the house, I don't think a worm could be a housewife. I'd go to prison, I think. You think, would I go to jail? Maybe? If you were a worm? I'm getting no response from you. What is... I think I'd go to jail if you were a worm. Or, like, you can still speak? Can you speak? If you were the worm, can you speak? Is that... What? I don't know. I can't gauge here. I'm not able to pick up what you're putting down. Do I take you places? Because you need water. Worms need rainwater or something like that to be okay. And dirt. Would I make like a little hut for you? I'd probably have to make like a little compository thing for you, maybe. It'd be like a little dirt thing. That's probably what I have to do. That? Yeah, you want that? You want a little dispository? No? You don't even know what it's like to be a worm. You're a human woman. What would that mean? I'm so lost. What would you like in this worm scenario? How do I get it for you? Do you want me to figure it out myself if you were a worm? I would love you if you were a worm. I would still love you. Yeah, how's that? Yeah? Yeah, okay. I'm just so confused. I'm not on the internet a lot like that. I don't know what it is. I'm so confused.
There are a bunch of other ones I've done, a bunch of things, and my wife has asked me throughout the decades of life I've lived to see my culmination responses in the tenure of our relationship, just to test it. Realistically, I believe she knows I'm going to answer stupidly or some wild nonsense, because that's genuinely how I feel. It's genuinely how I answer questions, because I think it's funny. They just want me to give this correct scripted response, but I refuse to do that. And the conclusion of this study, plainly, I'm gonna state this. These tests do not measure love, loyalty, compatibility, no emotional safety. They measure one thing and one thing only: a person's fluency in the language of social media performance. And I am a master at entertaining people, especially in public. I am the center of the room. I'm so good at gathering attention. It's my favorite thing to do. They measure how quickly they can decipher the correct scripted answer, and how willing they are to perform their affection for an invisible, fickle, very fickle, horribly fickle audience that will abandon them the moment the next viral relationship hack drops. Real love is not built in these brightly lit hypothetical laboratories. Real love is forged in the unglamorous, unrecorded hours, and the silent making of coffee when you're both tired. It's in the patience required to listen to a story you've never heard before. It's in showing up day after imperfect day, even when you're annoyed, even when you're not feeling good, even when there's no oranges to peel, no strawberries to pick, and no worms to hypothetically become. Love is this living, breathing thing. It is not a content prop, and I hate it so much. Now I'm gonna give a few more of my thoughts. I think the best advice I ever heard from the longest relationship I ever saw, which was my older brother. He was with his wife for 30 years before he passed away of a brain aneurysm. R.I.P. my boy. He said, love is boring. I said, what? He said, love is very boring. It may be the most boring thing I've ever done in my entire life. I said, why is love boring? He said, because there are moments of greatness, but it's familiar. And most people think familiar is boring. When you get used to something, you turn on autopilot. You know what to do. You know how to make eggs, you make eggs perfectly. You know how to do your job, you go to work, and the day seems to breeze by, and it feels as though time is moving faster the older you get because you're doing the same routine over and over again. It's only when you inject an air of chaos or uncertainty or unpredictability that it feels as though you spent your time worthwhile, because your brain cannot process that, and it slows itself down naturally because time is relative. And love gets boring because it gets familiar. But boring is not bad. It feels as though we don't know how to be bored anymore. Because somewhere in the last decade, somewhere, I don't know when exactly, I don't know when. Maybe it was Tumblr era nonsense. Maybe it was the fact that every idiot online can now talk to each other because we've become so internet connected with the internet. It's become ingrained in every part of our life. My fridge has Wi-Fi for some reason. It's weird. We took love. That quiet, soft, breathing creature that used to live in the space between two heartbeats, in the silence of a shared glance, in the warmth of a hand that held under a table. Oh my goodness, maybe to stroke a little bit. It's good, and we dragged it, kicking and bleeding, into the digital Coliseum, into the fire pit. We strapped it to the gurney under the fluorescent glare of the internet and proceeded to dissect it like a high school biology project, which I failed, Mr. Garrison. I hate you. Why did you bring in a dead cat? We had frogs. He brought in a cat. Messed me up for weeks. Oh, that was gross. And oh my god, it was so, it was so disgusting. I failed that, by the way. Failed, because I nasty taking apart a cat. Didn't want to do that. I was convinced. We've convinced people so bad that if we could just label every part, all the organs inside, monetize every tremor, and stream the whole bloody procedure, we might finally understand its magic. You can't. You can't understand Magic Johnson. He has AIDS. He's alive somehow. I'm still thinking about this. We have turned intimacy into a content category. Much like BBC, a genre to be consumed by strangers scrolling with greasy fingers and dead-eyed hunger. Yeah, I'd be a better partner. I'd never treat a girl like that. I'm a nice guy. Wow, I would never want a man that doesn't know the strawberry test. This is ridiculous. It's a demographic that craves the drama but is profoundly allergic to the actual messy, unprofitable tenderness that is its essence. Every private smile, well, that's now a potential post. Every anniversary, a branded event, every inside joke flattened into a caption. The algorithm is a voracious, insatiable god. I got done reading Dante's Inferno. Voracious popped up 7 times in my read through. Whoa, it was crazy. It might have been more, but I remember 7 instances. Remember, abandon all hope, all ye who enter. Oh my god. Look, read Dante's Divine Comedy. It is so good. One of my favorite pieces to read of all time. That and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Great books. Great. Anyways, it's an insatiable god, and it does not feast on humanity. It demands what Zeus demanded. Cheeks, blood and spectacle, but mostly cheeks. And we, its willing acolytes, keep feeding it the shreds, the shreds, the shreds, the shreds, the shreds of our own connections. Because we have been brainwashed into the most devastating lie of the modern age. That love does not count, it's not real unless it is witnessed, validated, and consumed by an audience of millions. We have cannibalized our own hearts. How do we do that? Autophagy, a term invented by Toriko, by the way, which is a great manga, insisting they must be visible, shareable, performative, and dissectable. And now we have the audacity to be surprised that a generation is terrified to feel anything that hasn't been pre-approved by a committee of strangers that haven't felt a genuine pang of joy since a forgotten meme was still funny. These are lonely people. Lonely people! Lonely! I believe this commodification has now reached its logical conclusion. Online relationships have become less about, emotional connections, and it's just partnerships. People curate their affection with this paranoid energy of an influencer uses to curate a skincare routine. All right, guys, this is our partner's favorite place to eat. All right, guys, come here, get on camera, babe, come here, baby, come, sit here. Okay, this is Derek, and he looks nice, doesn't he? I did his eyelashes, and he's so cool. He doesn't want them done, but if he was a real man, he'd let me do his. If he was a real man, and I admit you gotta be uncomfortable to grow, but this just seems strange. It's strange. They never show a flaw, a crack, a single moment of insecurity. That at least isn't unscripted, because the internet is not a forgiving place. Very, very fun moment that happened in my past here with my current partner. I said she could film my room because it was very dirty and I was going through something very bad mentally. And my room was extreme. I had a silverware, force had spaghetti and a bowl that was dried at the edge of my bed. It was bad. It was horrifying. And everybody tore her apart saying, oh my God, he has stuffed animals and he's sleeping with his stuffed animals. And I was saying, oh, this is interesting. Huh, okay. And then I think it was maybe a week or two later, I posted a video of us and we were doing something. And people said, this is relationship goals. You guys are so funny. This is amazing. And it was a switch like that. I went from this hated internet goblin to the epitome of what they want their partners to be. It was weird. I felt like a character in a never-ending audition for an audience that is perpetually bored, inherently bitter, and desperately eager to declare my love life is either fake, toxic, or doomed. Because my collapse, when it happens, if it does, makes their own sterile loneliness feel more like a choice and less like a prison. That's what it makes it feel like. We have transformed romance from a private language into a public service, and it's nasty. It's a spectacle for spectators who have forgotten what it feels like to ache for longing without feeling the urge to screenshot the text. So a lot of guys are very scared to actually be nice or longing or romantic, because they're scared they're gonna get turned to a screenshot. Oh, this guy did all this stuff for me, but he's ugly, so make fun of him on the internet. It's weird. It's miserable. It's really miserable. I feel like I haven't talked about the people that are in the comment section enough, because who are the architects? Who are the creators of this? Oh my God, what's a good phrasing? Emotional dystopia. The miserable, the ones who have built their entire personalities from the bricks of their own resentment. Those people who use their disappointment as mortar. Boom, boom, a bang, bang. They are the loudest voices in the digital coliseum. The most ravenous. They take a perverse, sacramental joy in tearing down anyone who dares to be happy in public. Why are you so happy? Why? This is cringy. Stop it. Stop doing that. They lurk in the shadows of their own failed connection, spewing a corrosive gospel that love is a scam, affection is cringe, devotion is pathetic, and vulnerability, rookie mistake. It's made by the foolish. They are just digital vultures circling, always circling, waiting for the slightest relational misstep, everything. A less than perfect anniversary post, a disagreement played out in a subtweet. A guy very accidentally, not flushing, He didn't put down the toilet seat? That's messed up. It's what happens every time. If he gets mad, a moment of frustration, it's over. And as soon as that happens, they can descend and rip into the flesh of your happiness with the symphony of, I knew it. See, this is why you never post your partner. Relationships are a trap. Their mission is not to inform, but to infect. To create this anxiety, this paranoia in your relationship to make you doubt the happiness that you feel. Their misery is a black hole and it demands company. The internet has simply given it a microphone that echoes across the globe. It's so strange. Very strange thing to witness. So odd. So odd these people are going to be single mothers and probably fathers that are abusive. Who knows? I have no clue. I'm just guessing. I'm just taking shots at people that I know. Anyways, in the end, we have engineered a digital culture that is anti-love. Very anti-love. It is a culture that wants love to fail. It wants couples to fracture. It wants tenderness to rot under the harsh, unrelenting glare of public scrutiny. Because the more broken everyone else appears, the easier it is for the individual to feel superior in their own curated emptiness. And this irony is that people now chase online validation as if it were some viable substitute for actual intimacy. And I'm going to tell you, to somebody that has a lot of online virality right now, I have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people are talking about me. It's not as fun as you think. It's not as fun. These numbers don't matter when it comes to actually feeling joy in your own life. It doesn't. You perform your affection for a crowd that does not care for them, packaging their most sacred joys for consumption by people who, on some deep, unacknowledged level, are waiting for all this to collapse. I keep saying it, but we really cannibalized love. We ripped out its still beating heart and held it up to the camera, and we forgot the most fundamental truth, that it is a fragile, very alive, very sentient thing meant to be fed by two hearts in a quiet room, not by millions of strangers peering through the digital window, waiting impatiently for it to burn down just so they can finally, for a moment, warm their cold hands over the ashes. That's all that's happening. It's sad. What's sad is that people are still going to do this for time to come, because we've been sold a bill of goods, a beautiful, just glittering lie. Somewhere between those montage sequences of romantic comedies and the highlight reels of social media, we accidentally convinced an entire generation that a relationship is supposed to be this perpetual state of cinematic ecstasy. Supposed to have soaring orchestra. If you kiss somebody, it doesn't feel right, you gotta leave. We convince people that it's supposed to be always this. It's supposed to be this weekly grand gesture. Oh, he didn't buy the fireworks over Disney for me. He didn't do that. We've been colonized by the aesthetics of intensity. And now, the moment the music stops, the moment things get quiet, comfortable, or God forbid, routine, we panic. That's familiarity. The stillness is not stagnation. We interpret the deep, calm waters of comfort as a sign that the well is running dry. We built these impossible, gleaming altars to perpetual passion, always passion, curated from millions of moments of fiction, the over-romanticization of love, designed to sell us a fantasy. And then we ruin ourselves. When our actual breathing love looks like ass. It's messy. It's uneven. It's gonna be full of a lot of laundry, a lot of quiet Tuesday nights, a lot of conversations about what to have for dinner, a crazy amount of conversations about what to have dinner, a stupid amount of conversations about what we're gonna DoorDash tonight. People are now terrified that if there isn't a constant dramatic arc of passion, something is fundamentally broken. Love doesn't live in the fireworks. It grows in the soil of repetition. It survives and thrives in the boring moments. And these moments will never trend on TikTok. Ever. I'm gonna say the quiet part loud. Love is boring. It has to be. I feel like that is what an important thing about love. It's so boring. It's frequently boring. It has big moments, but I feel like it has to be boring. And that's its superpower. Because boring is not bad. I just want to tell you right now, boring's not bad. I love being bored. I love having the freedom to be bored. That's always good. Love is the quiet trust of brushing your teeth next to someone who knows every one of your weird private habits. I love farting. I fart a lot. Oh my goodness, I'm a huge farter. Guess what? Not always pleasant. Funny as hell though. And my partner is happy that I fart. She says, you fart, you're just a big farting guy. This is crazy. I got a little bit of a belly going on. Boop, 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 boop. Little bit of a belly. I like my little belly. It's really fun. Like it. I used to be a really skinny kid. Now I've got a little bit of weight on me. I'm 5'5", 171 pounds. Very happy about that. Very nice. It's the ability to sit in the shared silence after a brutally long day. It is a full silence. Because you don't need to perform or entertain. It's the bone deep comfort of being known. Truly, mundanely known. Without makeup, without clothes, without glamour, with stretch marks, with nothing. Nothing? Nothing. This world demands you be a persona or a product, but we have been conditioned to see dullness as failure. We see routine as the enemy of passion. We see comfort as the prelude to death. And so people start picking fights. They start creating drama. Or they simply walk away from a perfectly healthy, nourishing relationship because the highs aren't high enough to drown out the sound of their own insecurities, whispering that they're settling. And I'm going to be crystal here. Love doesn't need to be a 5-alarm fire. Doesn't have to be. Not every single day. You don't got to pick a fight. You got to don't start the argument. Sometimes love is just two very sleepy boys sharing a bag of chips while watching a very mediocre show, because that's all the energy they had left to give each other. That is a successful partnership. That is very successful. We also got to get rid of the 50-50 thing. Hate the 50-50 thing. Can we give it a Viking funeral and just boom, send it out to sea and launch some arrows at it? Woo! I just got done seeing How to Train Your Dragon. Oh, something got stuck in my throat. This idea that a relationship must be perfectly balanced at all times. It is not healthy. It's just artificial rules. Life is not this neat equation. Some days, your partner is at 100, bursting with energy and sunshine, ready to carry the entire way of the day. Other days, it's 375. Tough day. That's what it is. That's what happens. And sometimes it's 97-3 in their favor. Love is not a math problem. It's a rhythm, a rotation of capacities, giving what you can without punishing yourself for your human limitations. Receiving what is offered without keeping a transactional scorecard. Real relationships have seasons. There are droughts where you both feel parched. There are floods when you're overwhelmed together. There are messy, imperfect harvests in every single one of those seasons. Every fluctuation, every moment of imbalance. That is what real, durable love is made of. And it is not a failure at 30. It is an opportunity for your partner to be at 100. Because it's not math. It's just not math. I am begging you from the bottom of my heart. Please stop taking your relationship cues from the digital void. Stop treating your partner as if they were a character in a story that needs constant plot twists to remain engaging. Love is not supposed to be a thrill ride. It's supposed to be sustenance. It is the bedrock. Some days the most romantic thing that will happen is your partner remembering you hate mushrooms and picking them out of the stir fry. Or taking the trash out without being asked. If you could learn to find a profound, quiet beauty in the boring, if you could sit in the stillness and understand that stability is not a downgrade, but the ultimate upgrade, then congratulations. You have just unsubscribed from the algorithm of anxiety and paranoia that your partner is doing something crazy. You have stepped off the conveyor belt of other people's expectations and into something raw, real, and breathtakingly alive. You have found something that was never ever meant to be consumed by an audience, but to be lived quietly and deeply by you. That's good. You've done it. So proud of you. Thank you. Hopefully your relationship is a little better now, or maybe you saw this and was struggling because of all the nice stuff you see and everybody has a partner but you. So hopefully this helps. Now then, I'm going to talk about myself. You can click on the video if you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to talk about myself a little bit. So, I'm going through a little bit of a Nerf fiasco. If you want to help with the GoFundMe, I would appreciate it. Looking to raise some money for the GoFundMe so I can get some stuff done for my backle. A lot of pain right now. So, it is in the top comment. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me about love or anything of that variety. I will not answer them at all. Do appreciate questions, though. Boost me higher in the algorithm. I just want you to comment for some reason. Anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz. Bye!